but good to be into football season because we have actual games to discuss. And in this segment in particular, I also mentioned from time to time some of the ratings across college football, or whenever they have more massive than their typically massive numbers in the NFL. But got our first batch of games all in ratings-wise. We told you a couple days ago is a nice number for Notre Dame. We knew that the Florida State LSU game had a monster number. Well, that was the top headliner of the week, 9.165 million viewers for LSU and Florida State. Pretty easily, almost by a couple million viewers, the top game watch-wise and average-wise in terms of this past weekend. But there's, an interesting number, too, and it's not a surprise who that was. But, when we were talking about the Pac-12, Big 12 stuff and all that, I remember hearing at one point from somebody that TV ratings didn't matter. And then that person magically talked about how Deion being in the Pac-12 could maybe improve their TV deal. Do y'all remember this?
Oh, yeah.
From the same person?
Yeah.
So they didn't matter, but then they were somehow, because of Deion's star power, going to bump the ratings, which would then cause a TV network or company to want to spend more on the Pac-12 because of Deion's ratings power. And all of that just seems so much sillier now in hindsight. But the fact of the matter is that Deion and ratings is a thing.
It is.
It is absolutely a thing. And that was evident in week number 1, 7.262 million viewers for Colorado at TCU and his first win. Nearly a couple million behind LSU and Florida State, but far and away the number 2 most watched game.
Yeah.
And 7.2, that is a healthy number, gentlemen. That is a very good draw, and we will see much more pulling numbers like that.
Yeah, the thing that George Kliavkoff got wrong about Deion Sanders is in the ratings is, yes, he's going to help the ratings for whatever school he's coaching at, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be in the Pac-12 for that long.
Right.
So why would the networks give you a deal based on a factor that is not under your control at all? It's only under Deion Sanders' control how long, and technically Colorado's, but the rest, if Colorado wanted to fire him because he was bad, even though he was still getting ratings, it's not like George Kliavkoff could call up Colorado if they were in the Pac-12 and be like, no, it's part of the TV deal. You have to stay.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works. So that's why it was a silly thing. But if he goes to the NFL one day, those games will get good ratings if he's the coach of the freaking Lions.
Sure they will.
It doesn't, he is ratings. But again, if he leaves the Lions, it's not like the NFC North is going to be like, whoa, make sure he goes to the Vikings.
Yeah, I do think there's this picture of it being perfect last weekend, and it wasn't. They need a run game.
Yeah.
Shedeur can't just throw for billions of yards every week. There are some things that need to be cleaned up, but if they keep winning, and they're winning like that, and he's drawing eyeballs like that, every school in the country is going to line up to, when they have a head coaching vacancy, you would think, bring him in. I don't care who it is. You're bringing 7+ million viewers every week, and you're winning, and you're doing it with a style that nobody else can really replicate. It's money, baby. You can see it, and you see the potential of it. And to be fair, that wasn't just George Kliavkoff that was talking about that. The person who said that the TV ratings didn't matter was just somebody who echoed a lot of what George Kliavkoff had to say. But it's just funny how that all just went in a circle. But he is a ratings draw. There's no doubt about that. Ohio State, Indiana. Ohio State, no matter who they play, is always pretty high up here. But 4.6+ million for the Buckeyes and Hoosiers in a Big Ten matchup. West Virginia, Penn State, nearly 3.5 million viewers, good enough for the 4th most watched broadcast of the weekend. Nebraska, Minnesota rounded out the top 5 with 3.492 million. So you see just the drawing power of the Big Ten and some of their brands where it's not necessarily the sexiest games, but there's just an automatic 4 million people that just watch. If it's Indiana versus Iowa or if it's Nebraska versus Minnesota, it's there's just that built-in big number, and then you add bigger brands to it, and you see you see why there's the big money TV deal,
No, they do. They have big schools, some of them not as big, but they have, when you look at Wisconsin's a massive school, and then you have the Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, just those 3, and whoever's matched up against them. But it'll be interesting to see what the number that Colorado, Nebraska get. Will it be more than Colorado TCU because the momentum coming off, or was there so much hype over the opening game to watch what Deion can do, or is that now even a higher watch value?
Yeah, I know that get real intricate. It'll be the network versus the time, and every little thing will be boiled down. I would think it'd be bigger.
So
though.
same time.
I would think it'd be
same
bigger.
Network.
Yeah, because it's a bigger opponent in Nebraska than TCU, who's got a smaller fan base. I mean, they draw eyeballs, but yeah, Nebraska draws eyeballs automatically that are bigger than most programs. So yeah, I would think that that's going to be 7, 8, somewhere in there. I think there'll be a lot of attention on that. I won't go through the rest, but North Carolina, South Carolina, over 3 million, nearly 3.5. Oregon State, San Jose State, these Sunday games pulled really good numbers. And, once the NFL arrives, then we won't see that. But just in general, like throw a football game on a Sunday, and if at least if it's got, not necessarily some of these semi-leagues, but, college football did pretty well. Oregon State, San Jose State, nothing super sexy about that, but it pulled 3.2 million viewers, so that's pretty good. Texas, the power of them, 3.2 for a game against Rice. So they automatically just get 3 million. Northwestern Rutgers, 2.6, and then Virginia, Tennessee had 2.4 plus million. So just the top 10 or so games ratings-wise. I always have fun just looking at those and kind of seeing where all the eyeballs are. But, yeah, a lot of eyeballs on Dion this past weekend and a lot of numbers for these games coming up with such a stacked schedule. It'll be fun to unpack those as well. As far as tonight goes,